So I am here at a Linux package unit. You'll remember it. It was the one we put the flame sensor in. I put it in about a week ago. Posted the video a few days ago. It's where the tip of the flame sensor was broken completely off. So came back out today and it was another flame sensor fault. Apparently it seems to be reading perfectly fine. Which starts to lead me to believe maybe there's an issue now with the control board in this thing. But I noticed up here where it plugs together, this gray wire right here is the one coming back from the flame sensor. And I notice when I wiggle it, you suddenly start to see drops and changes. Now, obviously, wouldn't want to do it now, but a while ago I would wiggle this thing a little bit. It actually would drop down to 1.5, and it actually went out one time. So maybe me messing around with it, I've tightened it, but I'm looking at the plug and I'm noticing that on the plug, that particular wire seems to set back a little bit further in the plug than the other ones. So I'm thinking that I'm not making a tight connection with the control board right there. I've pushed it in and out a little bit and played with it, but it's not doing it now. Obviously wouldn't as soon as you start doing the recording. But you notice when I wiggle it, it is dropping from 5 to 4. It's gone down to 3. It went down to 1.5 and 0 actually earlier. I'm going to pull that plug off and make a connection and see if that possibly, see if it's maybe loose, it's not making a good connection with the head terminal, male-female fitting in there. Sometimes I've found that in blower motors where you've got those plugs, and you plug them together, if the little hook, the little barb on that female fitting where it sticks into that Molex plug is not catching. When you go to plug it, the male terminal on the board or the opposite plug will push that particular pin back a little bit where you're not making a good connection. So I'm going to try that and see what happens. So now I've had this unit running probably about 20-25 minutes earlier, even with the branded flame sensor in it. Like I said in the last video, shows the reason that was replaced. The tip up and it rusted and broke and came off. Allegedly, if somebody else was here, I don't know. That's what I found when I got here. But anyway, I didn't watch it, I guess, long enough. And no shame in coming back to a system. Some people probably have recalls and callbacks on their work, but they don't put it on YouTube. Curtis does, I know. Walter out in Washington, HVAC does. Ted does from time to time. So there's no shame in coming back to something. Because hey, shit happens once in a while. But now it's been on for about 20-25 minutes. Earlier it went out on the flame sensor fault on me a couple of times. I hooked up, was wiggling the wire on that plug, and it would drip down to 4, drip down to 3. A couple of times it dripped down to 1. And so what I did, first thing I did, this is the light that I had in my bag on the tool review. Got the magnet on it, so it comes in handy, especially when it's cloudy and it's kind of dark outside. That light comes in pretty handy. But anyway, what I did, first thing I did was I pulled this board off to look at the back, because sometimes on these Molex plug connections up here, on these little plugs up here, the solder points on the back of these boards over time will open up, so you'll get an intermittent make and break, pressure switch problems, things like that. Ends up being a board issue. Didn't have that problem, put it back in, but what I did is there's a male and a female on this plug. This is the male side, the board is the female side. So the male side spreads a little bit. It's like four sides that come together. They slide into the female fitting, and it opens because it has a little seam across the bottom. So what I did is I took the female end and kind of crimped it a little closer together. I took the male end and took a needle and went right in the tip of it where there's a little opening and spread those four prongs apart a little bit so that when I plugged it back together, it made a tighter connection. Then I took a set of needle nose pliers and grabbed the wire from the back side here and pushed it in real good to make sure I had a good, tight, solid connection. And so far, it's been running fine, and it's been maintaining 5 or above the entire time. So I'm going to speculate we just had a bad connection on that terminal, and obviously you lose connection to the board on your flame sensor wire. It's going to drop, and it's not going to read. And I'm going to watch it a few more minutes, but so far it's ran for 20 or 25 and hasn't cut off on the pressure switch, or not the pressure switch, but flame sensor air. And before, in a 15-minute period of time, it went out 2 or 3 times on that fault. So, hey, sometimes you come back to them, sometimes you don't. And you have to learn from it if you do come back to it. So, anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and you gotta love it.